conduct by a person 18 years of age or older. You're also here this morning for your first appearance after being arrested for the life felony offense of lewd or lascivious molestation by an offender over the age of 18 years of age and a victim under the age of 12. It's my understanding, sir, that you were given a copy of your paperwork and advised of your rights at the jail. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Right, sir, I reviewed the application that you filled out, and it says that you do not want the court to appoint an attorney to represent you. So I will not do so at this time, sir, but if you have a change in circumstances, you can fill out another application for the court to review then, okay, sir?
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Saleen, are you here this morning on behalf of Mr. Duggar?
Yes, Your Honor, I represent Mr. Duggar in this matter. Your Honor, the family is asking for the most reasonable bond. The court is inclined to extend. It's my understanding he has no prior criminal history whatsoever, not even a speeding ticket. His father has flown to town on Saturday and is here in our community, ready to post a bond if the court is inclined to issue such. So we're asking the most reasonable bond the court is comfortable in setting, and has to be treated as fairly as anyone else would, regardless of his status in the television industry.
Mr. Saleen, are you representing Mr. Duggar for first appearance purposes or through the duration of the case, sir?
Through the duration, Your Honor.
All right. Anything from the state attorney's office?
Yes, Your Honor, good morning. We're asking for a substantial monetary bond in this case. It's a serious charge against the child. We ask that there be a no contact placed with the victim, as well as no supervised contact with any minors. Mr. Duggar, even though he doesn't have a criminal history, has no ties to the community. The alleged facts here was that he was just on vacation and stayed here a short period of time. Same ability to come here a short period of time allows him to leave quickly as well. So no ties to the community. So we ask for a substantial bond under 903-46 factors you're allowed to consider to make sure he appears in court.
All right. And another judge determined there was probable cause for your arrest by signing of the warrants. Ms. Fanbro, do you have any criminal history, ma'am?
They show a child in danger being in false imprisonment out of Arkansas this year.
Your Honor, I believe those are charges that may still be pending. As you know, he has another family member that was arrested for the same circumstance. I don't think those have been resolved in light of him coming here.
Mr. Saleen, I'm not aware of anything else, sir. I'm just here this morning on Mr. Joseph Duggar's case. So, so Ms. Fanbro, you show those as open, you said out of the state of Arkansas?
I don't show the disposition, I show that they were charged.
Okay.
That is correct. There are pending charges in Arkansas at this time.
All right, Mr. Duggar, I'm going to set your bond amount this morning in the lewd or lascivious conduct charge at $100,000. I'm going to set your bond amount in the lewd or lascivious molestation charge, which is a life felony, at $500,000. It's a total of $600,000 bond. Sir, you're going to have some other conditions as well. Sir, you are ordered to have no contact with the alleged victim. That means directly, indirectly through a third party or social media. Do you understand the no contact order, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you are also ordered that you are to have no unsupervised contact with any minors under the age of 18. Your next court date, sir, is April 20th at 9 a.m.
Step to your right to the T. Ma'am, if you'll give us a moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yes, Your Honor, and the same here, if I may be excused.
Yes, sir. Have a good day,
Thank you,
Mr.
Judge.
Saleen.
Have a good morning.
I was like, it's habit to reach over here. Did you need something, sir? Oh, okay. That's gonna be hard not to reach over here. That's okay. It'll take me a few, but I'll get it. Morning.
All righty. Well, we knew that was going to be quick, and that was very quick. Also disappointing. They're giving him $600,000 bond, which I do think is kind of shocking considering his charges. Felony, lewd and lascivious conduct with a minor. There's Miss B checking in with us this morning. Well, if he bonds, he could potentially go back to Arkansas, but he has to have no unsupervised contact with children, which is scary because he has kids. I think three or four. Sucks to see the Duggars back in the news for this kind of thing, doesn't it? Another hearing coming up on April 20th, so we'll see where they're going to go from here. He did waive extradition from Arkansas, which is why he's back in Florida for this. It sucks because likely his parents will pay the bond. We've seen that before. His mother stepped in and paid the bond for, it's 4 kids. Thank you, Victoria. His mother stepped in and paid the bond for his wife, Kendra, in Arkansas. I'm not sure what the custody status of the children at this point is, but I will work on finding that out. Also, just wanted to give you an update on all of the cases that we're following here on the Trials channel. I thought I would do this at least once a week, just kind of let you know where we are at and what I have coming up on my schedule for you. The next hearing date that I have for sure, and it could change, we could get some sooner things. I'm always looking. But April 8th is the next hearing date for Rex Hewerman. Now, things are changing in the Rex Hewerman case. And so this hearing was initially set to address pretrial type stuff, issues around the evidence, like the DNA, for example, how they're going to handle the multi-victim structure within the trial. But what we know now is that it's rumored that he is going to take a guilty plea. That is not 100% confirmed. It's a rumor, but it's very possible. And so we don't know at this point if the purpose of that hearing will change and become a completely different situation where is he going to plead at that hearing? We don't know, but very important hearing coming up on April 8th. So we will be streaming that here. Other things coming up. The trial for Courtney Clenny is scheduled for April 27th. At this point, it's on schedule. So I'm planning to stream that. Dates are still a little up in the air, but it's a pretty solid date. Of course, there are pretrial fights still going on around evidence and things to do with prior relationship dynamics and how much of that is going to be allowed in at trial. Then also we have a pretrial hearing for Aaron Spencer on April 29th. Then trial set for June 20th. When there are 2 things on the same day, I will be streaming them both, and I'll just kind of be popping back and forth in both chats. Some things are important enough that they both need to be streamed at the same time, and the Aaron Spencer stuff during Courtney Clenny is definitely one of those things. Oh, Sweet Relief says, can someone remind me if we knew weeks before Koberger or just the day or two before? It was a little while before. It wasn't a long time before, because they were trial prepping, very similar to where what's happening in the Rex Uerman situation. Trial prepping, and then all of a sudden going to take the plea. So pretty similar. Then also coming up on May 8th, we have Brendan Banfield. His sentencing on May 8th. We'll be streaming that. Sentencing for Corey Richens is coming up on May 13th. Definitely going to be streaming that. Joseph Duggar does have his next hearing is April 20th. They just set that here. There was a hearing also set for April 29th, but they just set one for April 20th. Well, 29th may be Arkansas. See, the problem we have with Joseph Duggar is we've got two cases going on with him. We've got the Florida case, the lewd and lascivious conduct with the minor charges, and then we have the child endangerment charges against him and Kendra in Arkansas. So we'll kind of be bouncing back and forth between those two cases. So we'll see, but for sure there's one on the 20th in Florida. We'll see what's going on in Arkansas. The trial for Daniel Rodimer, who is the man accused of murdering Christopher Tapp. We've talked a lot about Chris Tapp here, given who he is. He was an Idaho Falls resident who was coerced into confessing to the murder of Angie Dodge, and he spent 21 years in prison before he was released and eventually finally exonerated. He was then murdered in Las Vegas, like 2 years after he got out of prison. And the man accused of murdering him is Daniel Rodimer. So we expect that trial in June, but we don't have a solid date on it yet. So we're keeping an eye on that. Definitely something I'll be streaming. Floyd William Parrott, of course, that we talked about last night. He has been now charged with the Lover's Lane murders. Going to be keeping an eye on him. I don't have any solid court dates for him yet, but it is something that we will be following. Shanna Gardner Fernandez, no hard date yet, but things are moving along. I think we will be seeing a trial for her sometime this summer. Sean Mickey Steins, the sheriff who is accused of murdering the judge. There's still litigation going on there, and some things are coming up in that case quite rapidly as well. So still watching on that, but there will be some things coming up. And then a new case that I have just added, Naresh Bhatt, who is accused in the, missing and potentially assumed deceased case of his spouse. We're in kind of a pretrial situation there. So a lot coming up. Those are the cases I currently have on my tracker to be watching and keeping an eye on dates. If there is a case that you find interesting that you would like to know more about, or if you happen to see a hearing pop up like this one that I had missed and one of you put it in Discord, thank you so much for doing that. Please help me out as much as you can. It is so much to keep track of, and if you live local to something, you might see something that I don't see. Please feel free to share with me in Discord or in a live or at our True Crime Squad Idaho at gmail.com email address. Those are all great ways to reach me to help. If you see something you want to see streamed that you want to see on this channel, I am happy to add it. Morphew. Yes, Barry Morphew is another one. The problem with Morphew is it's looking very much like there's not going to be anything streamed. So that sucks. But if anything is streamed, definitely Morphew. The other one, I don't know why this didn't come up in my notes, Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson has a hearing coming up on the 17th, I think. Let me double check. So we talked last night on True Crime Squad that this whole situation with Joe Kent coming out saying that the feds didn't fully investigate in the Charlie Kirk shooting, but then also his defense has officially requested to delay the preliminary hearing. They've been saying they were working on it, trying to decide whether to or not. They have now made that official request. It was supposed to be in May. Looks like it's going to get pushed back. There is also a hearing in Tyler Robinson on April 17th that is for cameras in the courtroom. There's a lot of push from the defense to keep cameras out. Well, actually, defense and prosecution, but I don't think the judge is going to do it. There are some pretty specific parameters out there around what they can show. They cannot show Tyler's shackles. They really can't film the defense desk at all. They don't, there's a lot of rules, but his stuff has been being live streamed, and I think it's going to continue to be live streamed. They're going to address this in this hearing. This hearing will be live streamed, but there are parts of it that might not be. I haven't seen the judge fully rule yet on that. They want to talk about some specific evidence that they have concerns about that particular evidence getting out into the world. And so some of those things, parts of that hearing may be done behind closed doors, and then they'll come back and kind of, do the talk broadly about it in the hearing. Again, I really don't think he's going to kick the media out. I think that's going to be live streamed. The judge seems to understand the importance of transparency and the interest in the public around the murder of Charlie Kirk, obviously. So, Jamie, thank you for that. A new Utah bill about judicial transparency will basically force more hearings to be broadcast. That's interesting. I did not know that there was a new bill. It's happening. It's happening everywhere. The push to be more transparent, which I personally think is good when it comes to our legal system working in the light and not in the dark. That's one of the reasons why I'm a true crimer. I want to know that my legal system is following its own rules. I want this legal system to be fair for everyone. And we know it isn't. It's not. But the more light is shown on the judicial proceedings, the less nefarious activities can go on. BLG 48, that's Rex Hewerman's date. Or is there something else that you see on 4/8? But I know that Rex Hewerman's next hearing is on 4/8, and we're going to see what comes up from that. There's a lot going on in that case. One of the things that's going on is that Rex Hewerman is not in very good health. He missed a hearing recently because he's not walking very well. He's needing some kind of a crutch to walk with. And his attorneys had acknowledged that he has multiple health issues. And it may be that he's a sick old man and that maybe he's not up for a huge months-long trial. I honestly really hope, for the sake of the families of the victims and for his family, that he does plead, because I just cannot imagine. That trial is going to be brutal. Oh, really? Jamie says, and part of the bill allows access to hearings and documents quicker and for free. I love that very much, because the cost, and Utah particularly, is fairly expensive just to get basic information. I'm very glad to hear that it's going to be quicker and for free. Oh, thanks, Melissa. Melissa says, my house has a very relaxing and whimsical vibe. Well, you just saw Gigi, my other little Persian, go running up here and shoot behind the curtains. She and her sister love to do that. Oh, here she comes back. You can see her. Oh, there she is. She is a wild woman. All right. Well, that is what we know. Joseph Duggar given a $600,000 bond. Next hearing coming up on April 20th. We'll be streaming that. And I really appreciate all of you being here with me and on this new endeavor to do more with trials. I am enjoying it very much, and I'm glad to be here with all of you. Please remember, you can always send me an email at truecrimesquadidaho@gmail.com. If you know of a case, if you know of a hearing, if you're in Discord, you can post it there as well. I love help from all of you because it is so much to keep track of. I honestly use ChatGPT to help me keep caught up on all of the updates because it's so much to keep track of. So if you see something coming up, feel free to send it my way. I appreciate it a ton. Well, we will be back at 3 p.m. Mountain over on the True Crime Squad main channel for today's episode. And unless something else comes up, I will be back here with you on April 8th for the Rex Heuermann hearing. You know it. This has been True Crime Squad Trials. Thanks for being here.